Every story has a secret. Some should have stayed buried. The truth hides in the dark, and once you hear it, you can't unhear it. This is Midnight Hour Files, hosted by Dee Dee. Welcome to the Midnight Hour.
For over 4 decades, one man terrorized California. He broke into homes in the middle of the night, attacked women, and disappeared without leaving a trace. He had many names: the East Area Rapist, the original Night Stalker, but no one knew who he really was. And for years, it seemed like they never would. This is the story of the Golden State Killer and the woman who refused to let his crimes be forgotten. Before DNA technology advanced, investigators were chasing shadows. The attacks began in the 1970s. Victims described a masked intruder who studied their routines, entered quietly, and struck without warning. He was methodical, calculating, and always one step ahead. Police linked dozens of assaults and murders across California, but the suspect vanished. Leads went cold, cases stalled, and fear lingered in the communities he once targeted. Then, decades later, a writer named Michelle McNamara became obsessed with the case. She wasn't a detective, she wasn't law enforcement, but she had something just as powerful: relentless curiosity. Michelle began digging into old case files, interviewing victims, and connecting details that had been scattered for years. She gave the unknown attacker a name that would stick: the Golden State Killer. Through her research, she uncovered patterns others had missed. She brought renewed attention to the case through her writing, podcasts, and online communities. And most importantly, she reminded people that these weren't just cold cases. They were real victims still waiting for justice. Her work became the foundation for her book, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, a chilling and deeply personal account of her search for the truth. But tragically, Michelle never saw how the story ended. In 2016, she passed away before the killer was identified. Still, the case didn't die with her. Behind the scenes, investigators were making progress. Advances in DNA technology had opened a new door, one that hadn't existed during the original investigation. Instead of searching for a direct match in criminal databases, detectives turned to a newer method called genetic genealogy. They uploaded crime scene DNA to public genealogy databases and began building a family tree. It was a painstaking process. Piece by piece, branch by branch, they narrowed down potential suspects. Until one name stood out: Joseph James DeAngelo, a former police officer, a man who had lived an ordinary life for decades, a man who had been hiding in plain sight. In 2018, investigators secretly collected his DNA from discarded items. The match confirmed what they had been searching for all along. After more than 40 years, the Golden State Killer finally had a name. His arrest brought a wave of relief, but also a flood of emotion. Survivors who had waited decades finally saw justice begin to unfold. In 2020, DeAngelo pleaded guilty to multiple counts of murder and kidnapping, bringing official closure to one of the most haunting cases in American history. But even as the case was solved, one truth stood out. Michelle McNamara never got to see it. Her work, her voice, and her determination helped bring this case back into the public eye. Many believe that attention played a role in keeping the investigation alive during critical years. Her book remains one of the most powerful true crime stories ever written, not just because of the case itself, but because of the passion behind it. It's not just about a killer. It's about the people who refuse to forget. If you want the full story, including details that were never widely reported, you can read I'll Be Gone in the Dark. Link is in the description. As an Amazon associate I earn from qualifying purchases. If you found this story interesting, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Midnight Hour Files for more true crime stories.
Some truths never rest, and some stories are never over. This has been Midnight Hour Files. Sleep carefully.